Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
Dinner is served.
I just put Mia down. Oh, I am so sorry. It's a Pat's fault. Come in. Yeah, come in.
So good to see you.
You too, sweetie.
Carolyn has been offered a $13 million settlement.
Yes! Yes! Oh!
I knew it. You guys need to calm down. Calm down. She ain't dead.
So what that mean?
You ain't getting nothing.
Are you sitting where Caroline at? Caroline!
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is an experienced actor who has gathered some excellent roles he's had over the years. Talk about role varieties, he's your man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actor Thomas Bell. Greetings, Thomas, and welcome to The Actor's Choice.
How you doing, Ron? Fantastic.
Oh, yeah, like I said, he's your man.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So tell us, where were you born?
I was born in a place called Willingboro, Raccoon Valley, New Jersey, actually. So I started my life off in Willingboro, and I grew up in New Jersey, South Jersey, the garden section of that state, and went to school, St. Vincent High School, with a couple of other people that actually came out of that school. Andre Collins, a Super Bowl champion. Patrick Fawcett, another Tyler Perry actor guy from one of Tyler Perry's shows, and a well-known actor here in town. So we did all right in St. Vincent, evidently. So I ended up leaving, going to University of Maryland, and then on to law school, and then ended up here in Los Angeles.
All right.
Talking to you today.
All those stars down there in that little town. It's amazing.
Man, it blows me away. You would be surprised on how many people come out of New Jersey that are in this industry. It is amazing. I'm like, who knew? Because New Jersey is such a small place, and I knew.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us, what made you get into acting?
If I had known how hard acting was going to end up being in my life, I would have probably chose another. I actually did choose another profession. I went to law school, and I had trying to avoid what I think was in my spirit, because what started me out was when I was a small child. My mother, Nancy Bell, she's a minister, and I was in the church choir from 6 to 16. And so I was doing the church plays. I was doing the resurrection days and the Christmas, any performances that went on during that 10 years. My mother had me front and center. And I think that's where, as terrified as I was, I believe that's where the passion for storytelling and for audiences began. I mean, and that's where my love for music and what is breathed into my characters. That's where all that began for me. So I got to say that, and fundamentally, the church had taught me to have compassion and insight for other individuals, and that's always drawn me into being able to develop my characters much better. So that's what kind of began to draw me in. I went to law school, and then, quite honestly, I was walking down the street with a very beautiful woman that I'm now married to, and they discovered her. They were like, "Wow, she's gorgeous," and she was like, "Well, would you like to be on our show, Renegades, down in San Diego? Renegades, and would you like to be on our show?" And she said, "Well, can my boyfriend come?" That's how I got my first. That's how the first time I got on a TV show. Can my boyfriend come? And they're like, "All right, bring him," just because they wanted her on the show. And then I got to meet people on the set, and I said, "You know what? I like this. I like this place. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can come back." And before you know it, they had invited me back on Silk Stockings as a reoccurring, like, background actor in the bullpen in the police station. And from then I went to stand-ins and stunt person on Pensacola, Wings of Gold, down in that was filmed down in San Diego. And then when I said I wanted to get out and get some main speaking roles, they told me I had to move to Los Angeles. So that's what I did.
All right. All right.
Yeah, acting kind of chose me. Between my mother and just the passion for my love, you know, despite my fear and trying to get around directly approaching acting, it kind of fell into my lap, and the passion kind of kept driving me down the road.
Right. Okay. I understand according to IMDb, your first record, first film that you did was called Daughter of Sin. This was in the year 2000.
Tracy Ponder.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, she was awesome. It was exciting. It was an exciting piece. I played a boyfriend. I was a somewhat. I thought at the
Uh-huh.
time they thought I was somewhat attractive guy. So I played a lot of boyfriends when I started out, and I was a gang banging boyfriend. I don't know. Yeah, me. Yeah, I was a gang banging boyfriend, and that was the first role. I appreciate Tracy Dean Ponder for all that she's done to give me my first chance. And I thought that was very, very exciting to have that opportunity. My first theatrical role, though, was from Jerry Jones. It was called A Call for Peace, and a lot of actors came out of that show that you see on television today.
Okay.
It was shot down in Crenshaw at the Vision Theater. And this gentleman, Jerry Jones from Dolomite. You remember Dolomite?
Oh,
The
yes. Who
movie
didn't?
Dolomite?
Oh, yes.
That the light skin. I
Oh,
actually
yes.
did the Dolomite, the
I
next
knew
one,
him
the remake.
personally. I knew him personally.
Yeah, Jerry Jones
Yes.
is,
He's a good guy.
man, that dude was everything, man. He
Yeah.
he gave me my first gig on the stage in Los Angeles. Patrick Fawcett took me to crash his audition, and he looked at me and said, "All right, man, I didn't get you something." And there you go. And then I moved on, went to Tracy D. Ponder. And the biggest thing that happened to me after that was Brian Hooks and it's slipping my mind right now, Barry Bowles. Barry
Okay.
Bowles and Brian Hooks held an audition for Brian Hooks did this thing called Three Strikes. And it was just really, really popular. And so when he did his next piece called The Q, The Luau, he did this thing called The Q, and then he had part two, The Luau. He had auditions for it, and I knew this was going to be my big break if I could just get on this movie. So, of course, I get to the audition late. I pull up, they're already packing up, walking out the building. I
Mhm.
run up to him on the street and said, "Man, oh my God, I'm late because I was trying to prepare so much." And he said, "Man, go ahead, do it." I said, "I'll do it for you right here on the street." And right there in front of the Secret Rose Theater on the street on Magnolia, I did an audition for Brian Hooks and Barry Bowles, and they booked me for that part. And that was that was my first video box. I remember it coming out, me being on the
Okay.
box. It was a fantastic thing. So I've got a lot of people to thank in this industry,
Okay.
man. I have a lot of good friends that helped me and gave me my first shot.
Okay.
And it's been awesome. I'm so excited. Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones is, I mean, yeah, he's a fantastic person. Wonderful soul.
You coming up on almost 50 credits, IMDb credits. The year was 2015. You were on a television series called Scandal.
Yes, that was exciting. I couldn't believe it when they called.
Yes.
Oh man, I was so excited. I got to work with the main star and and I got to see the action between the two main stars behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and it was like my first big experience.
Uh-huh.
Like this was the biggest show I had done yet. I wanted to kill it. I knew I had it when I walked into the door, though. It was one of those things like nobody's getting out of this thing alive if I don't get this part. I walked in there ready. Cause I watched the show and I was in it. I'm like, I'm made for this. And they saw, and they put me on the show, and I thought it was one of the most inspirational times of my career because that helped me believe that I could do prime time. I was like, I'm all right. Somebody did look at me one day and he said, RFB, ready for prime time. Yeah,
Right.
and I was like, all right, all right. So yeah.
Okay. Speaking of words, as you know, there's a WGA strike that's going on right now. How you feel about that?
Absolutely. I feel that the industry has had a lot of changes in it, and I think that AI is an important part of those changes. I believe that both sides uh, both sides of that coin are are hoping for the best outcomes, and I hope that they're seeking fairness. It seems that um, the writers and us as actors, we have more than a fair gripe about what can happen in AI in the future. But I think that it's going to be important that we're able to adapt and adjust and not work out of fear. But I also think it's important that we're rewarded I mean, our name and our image and our likeness are the only things we really have when we demonstrate that art. To have that taken from us and replicated and derived down and have little common derivatives of that spread out all over the place
Yes.
kind of reduces down the value of what we do, how we do it, and I mean, I spent 20 years becoming moderately good at this thing. And we make it look easy, man, but it's an art and it's a craft. I studied. I'm a classically trained actor, and I studied for years under the tutelage of likes of Richard Lawson and Aaron Spicer. I started out at the Freedom Theater in Philadelphia,
Yes.
and I came out here and I sat under their wings for years. And right to this day, the learnings that I got from Richard Lawson are the cornerstone of my acting preparation. Aaron Spicer, a fantastic individual, taught me the business of this business. And Richard, helped me um, find the truth in characters and in myself so I can breathe that into the characters and how to delineate and line out a career and a path so you're not just a wandering leaf blowing in the wind in this industry.
Yes.
It was a definite thing. And when I walked out of Richard's office, um, when we were done our study, I was a different individual and my life had changed. And things haven't been the same since.
Yeah.
For the good.
Speaking of pretty good, we just happen to have a video that you did, Criminal Minds and Joshua. Roll it, Tony.
Agent Hudson. Mr. Axelrod would like to see you. Please.
I'm seeing a lot of activity on the southern Iraqi Kurdistan border.
Is it unsafe?
With all due respect, it's always unsafe. But if you want to guess at how many lives you'll lose, I can say we've got about 50 bunkers hidden in the side of the ridge of the mountain there.
The radiation coming off the bunker. How much explosive do you think we're looking?
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I remember those moments, man. Yeah, it gives me a rush.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, those.
You're doing fine. You got some good roles there. You got a lot of short roles you like to do. That's good. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I just last year was a killer year for me as well.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen me. I've done Grey's Anatomy. I don't know, All American last year. Hacks. I've worked with some amazing stars, chances, like some of the biggest, and I just the blessings. All I could do is say thank you to the people that enjoy my work, and let you know how exciting it's been to be able to be there. Okay. I met Debbie Allen. She looked at me and told me she knew me, man.
Oh, I remember Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen told me she knew Thomas Bell. This dude, Nancy and Tommy's little boy from New Jersey, man. And Debbie Allen knew how I was. I remember watching her on film.
Married to a basketball player. Yes, yes.
I wish I could. Man, I would have done anything to have been on that show. And I literally cried when I was on Grey's Anatomy. And I said, "Hey, Miss Allen, I want to meet you. I'm Thomas Bell." She says, "I know who you are, Mr. Bell."
Yes.
And it brought tears in my eyes, man, because it was like a lifelong dream come true. It did. I call my mama.
Okay. Okay. When you say mom, you got me thinking tomorrow's my mother's birthday.
My mama, Debbie Allen knows who your boy is.
Yes. Yes.
She knows who your boy is.
Thomas, I see that you have trained in both boxing and martial arts. How do you do that?
And that was in much younger days. I trained when I went to college and jujitsu. My son, I have a young son that we trained together for about 5, 6 years. So while not being a master, I'm a very energetic person, which is one of the reasons why I ended up on the stage. It was one of the very few places that people could tolerate my
Mm-hmm.
energy, and they can tolerate the passion that I have and my animation. I'm not made for a corporate office. Inside of that field, I think that that's a specialty that is beyond me, and I think they recognized that early. And it was the one place I felt appreciated when I got on the stage. I felt like they enjoyed the energy as opposed to what I was getting prior to that. And so I think the career chose me.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you mind telling our audience how tall are you, sir?
I'm about 6'3". I'm a little bit shy of 6'3". I think I was 6'3", but as
Yeah.
I age, I,
Yep.
shrink
Six
very
three.
slight.
Oh. I understand there's another movie coming out right now in production. It's called The Bad Guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm limited in what I can say due to our agreements with the SAG, but the Bad Guy and NIL, those are two projects that we're in the middle of making, and I'm sure you'll learn more about it as the strike ends. You'll feel free to look upon my pages, and I'll keep you guys abreast and updated. Hopefully, Ron, you'll have me back one day, and I can tell you all about it. It's fantastic projects, and they're brand new. People, I think it's going to be exciting.
Well, Thomas, I want to thank you for stopping on by. Please keep up the good work that you do. And as they say, break a leg.
Thank you, Ron. I want to thank you so much for having me on the show. You guys can find me on IG at Thomas Bell 01, 01, and you can find me on the internet at the number 3 mediasolutions.com. And you can also find me on Twitter, or X as is now known as TR Bell 2, number 2.
All
All
right.
right. And I can't wait to get back and see you guys and talk to you again, Ron. Thank you for having me on the show.
My
You've
pleasure.
been a
Wouldn't have it
mainstay in
any
the
other way.
industry.
And of course, thank
Been
you,
very good.
publicist Marie Y. Lamel,
Shout
MDB,
out to Marie, Marie
MBA.
LaMelle,
Yes, oh
Patent
yes.
PR,
She makes it
the
custom to
only
your
one that
need.
does it. All
Thank you.
right. Take
Okay.
care.
Ladies and
All right.
gentlemen, Thomas Bell. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. We'd like to let you know that we're asking our actors squad to help us get former baseball player Curt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Curt passed away January 20th, 1997, was the husband of one of our wonderful guests. We see her all the time, dear friend, renowned actress Judy Pace. So all you got to do is contact our office at 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941, okay? We'd like to make sure that each and every one of you, thank you for taking part in this magnificent award for a great baseball player. Okay, roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to get into broadcasting? Okay, that's one of the things that I've been in almost 40 years myself, and really enjoy being in broadcasting. It's quite a thing to do. You meet a lot of people, you get a lot of money, different things. Really, you have that voice, ladies and gentlemen. That's what broadcasting is all about. I teach a class over at Santa Monica College. I still got some openings still left. August 29th is when we shut down. Give me a call, if you will, 323-533-1036. It's 323-533-1036. Okay? August 29th, 2:15 p.m. through 3:15 p.m. Okay? Thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You can't see Russ anymore. That's not a good idea.
I can't see my dad.
Well, you got your grandmother.
You just let her leave. She should have stayed with us.
I know, sweetie. I didn't get my hug.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest today is indeed a veteran actress, a multi-award actress and producer. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady has made, hold on to this, over 150 appearances on stage, film, television. Most recently, in 2023, she had the role of Marshall Lynn in Mitch Yapko's comedy drama, Remixed. Our guest is here today to tell us about her upcoming role starring as Linda in the world premiere of Exit Wounds at the International City Theater in Long Beach, California. Ladies and gentlemen, with honor, please welcome Suanne Spoke. Greetings, Suanne.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Listen, when I saw your IMDb, I went, "What?" Especially when I found out what was the first role you got, and you know which one that is, the Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
1986. Wow.
1986. It was such a wonderful opportunity and it was fantastic to be with them and um two of the dirtiest jokes I ever heard came from Betty White. Uh you know. Yeah, it was quite a wonderful introduction, you know, into TV.
Indeed. Suanne, God bless you. God bless you. Uh, but we're getting kind of ahead of ourselves. Can you please tell us where you were born?
I was born in Meadville, Pennsylvania, which is a very small town. Oh my gosh. Oh, there it is.
I do my
Oh,
homework.
wow. Wow. Wow, that takes me back. Yeah, that's my hometown right there.
Wow.
Wow. And there's the marketplace,
Wow.
little building right there.
Yes.
A cousin of mine now is doing lunches there. Ah, small world.
Small
Oh,
world.
that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that
Oh,
with
my
me.
pleasure. That's what
My
we do.
gosh.
We want you to come back again. Definitely.
Oh, I'd love to.
Definitely. What made you get into this business? What was it?
Oh, I wish I could pinpoint something, but one of the things that I do remember is because this is a very, very small town, and I have a, you know, a lovely family, and I grew up on a farm and with factory workers, and there was not a lot of art influence, you know, in my childhood. But I do remember years and years and years ago, I saw a Dr. Kildare episode. It was a two-parter with Yvette Mimieux, and she was an epileptic surfer and of course, she fell in love with Dr. Kildare, and he told her that she could never surf again because if she had a seizure, she would die. And they fell in love and they were going to get married. And she ended up, of course, having a seizure and she died in the ocean surfing. And I had always wanted to go to California. So that was one thing. I was like, I'm going to go to California and I'm going to meet a doctor and I'm going to surf and I'm not going to have a seizure. And then I wanted to do telethons.
Okay.
I wanted to, you know, I have a severely disabled sibling. And from the time I was little, I was absolutely certain that I would become a big star and I would have my own telethon and I would raise all this money for my brother's care and for those like him. So this was like when I was 7 or 8 years old. So in terms of what I was formulating, when it became an idea of being an actor, um, was probably in my teens, maybe. You know, I was very art filled and driven. I drew, I wrote songs, I wrote poetry, I played the guitar and sang feebly, but you know, leaving on a jet plane, you can't really do a lot of damage to that song. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when I went to college, I went as a theater minor, and and I was going to be a French education major.
Uh-huh.
But at that time, you had to have your parents' signature to change your major. And so I forged their signature and changed my major to
In front of the
theater.
children.
That's the only bad thing I ever did,
Didn't hear
ever.
a word. Didn't hear a word. Never leave the thing. Never leave. Don't
And
say
then
that.
that was it. And I was just forever, forever smitten.
Okay. Got to ask this question. 150 roles. That's a whole lot of auditions, isn't it?
That's a whole bunch. That's a whole bunch. But you know, it's it's like Michael Jordan said, you know, the greatest basketball player, you know,
Uh-huh.
in certainly some circles and at least renowned. But he always talked about, you know, the fact that he couldn't make the baskets that he made without missing 10,000 baskets.
Uh-huh.
You know, he couldn't win championships with a three-pointer on the buzzer unless he missed 100 of those, you know? So for all of those auditions, as especially as I got older, have gotten older, I just sort of say that was not my job. My job is, my job is coming. My next job is coming.
Having all that skill that you have, as I went through my research, I found that I found a video where you talk about the difference between stage and screen acting. Roll it, Tony. Roll it, Tony.
Actors do their best work when they are as fully engaged within the context of the material, whether it's 30 seconds of copy, 15 seconds of copy, whether it's a short film, a feature film, a television series. If you fulfill the obligation and the intentions of the narrative, it's fine with me what I see. But if it becomes about you making decisions as to how you will stand out,
exactly,
then you're sacrificing the intention of the character.
You was telling them. You was telling them it was good.
I was pointing and doing and pointing and doing.
Oh, yeah. When you get home, we will send you a copy of this so you can hear what you said. Definitely.
That's fantastic. I think I have a vague recollection because it is a point that I do try to make over and over again in the classroom or, when anybody asks, because I think that there's this huge mystery oftentimes about the process, how the process is applied.
Yes.
And to me, it's the same, no matter what the medium is. You just have to change a certain perspective about the proscenium.
Got you.
I hope that's what I said. I'll be curious to see.
You've had 2 Ovation Awards. Right now, I see you currently serve on the faculty at the California Institute of Fine Arts. Can you tell us about that, of the arts?
Yes, I'm very, very fortunate to be a part of a fantastic, small, intimate, progressive arts institute. It's up in Santa Clarita. It's across from Magic Mountain, and it is its very own amusement park for sure. We have a strong international student population, a lot of cultural diversity. It really feeds my soul. I'm fortunate enough that I am a regularized faculty member in the School of Film Video, and I teach in the graduate film directing program. I work with film directors, and I also work with character animators, which is also very exciting.
You have a lot of training and a lot of skill, and you're giving it to other people. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I hope. I mean, I certainly get a lot back from them. That's for sure. I hope it at least, balances out. That we have some equilibrium,
We came here to talk about a play that you're into called Exit Wounds.
Yes, by Wendy Graff. Oh, it's a fantastic piece by a brilliant playwright named Wendy Graff. And it's about the legacy of trauma. It's about the aftermath and the repercussions on a very specific family when one child engages in a very egregious crime. And, can we forgive? Can we realign ourselves? Can we reunite? And it examines the notion of school shootings and from the perspective of the family of the perpetrator rather than the victims. And it does not leave many stones unturned. So it's a really, I think it's fascinating. I think it's compelling. I think it's heartfelt. There are things in it that are actually very funny. Believe it or not, you can't imagine, but there are moments where there's some places to breathe, so you're not completely overwhelmed.
We got a couple of photos. Tony, can you show us the first one? Who's that?
That would be me.
That'd be me.
That would be me, and in the role. This particular woman, one of the repercussions of her life subsequent to this crime perpetrated by her child is that she becomes a hoarder, which is there you have some indication of what's going on behind her. There's some boxes of things that start to hold answers for her.
Next photo.
Oh my gosh.
He sent me these pictures.
She walked out very late. I can't believe you're doing. Okay, my voice just went up 5 octaves. I'm so sorry for your listening viewers. This is a moment where there is a bit of perhaps reconciliation, some draw to a family member that we can't see right now, but I think it's a very poignant moment.
Okay. We have one more picture to look at. Just one more. Oh, there she is.
There she is in all of her glory. But you can begin to see what's behind her, what she's done to her home. Okay. And has also become a bit of an agoraphobic. She also does not leave her home until there is a precipitating event that forces her to open her front door.
All right. This is going to be at the International City Theater in Long Beach.
That is correct. Oh, such a beautiful theater. And may I just say, it is such a privilege to be able to work there. Remarkable people are running and have been running this theater for years. It's built by the same architect who did the Mark Taper. And it's like a baby Mark Taper, which obviously we are suffering through the absence of the Mark Taper being open at this point. So for those of you that are not familiar, it is a fantastic facility. And I hope you'll come and join us. It's quite beautiful.
Okay. Here's an inside shot of that same theater that you talked about. Look at that.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. It's such an honor to work there. I'm really thrilled. Very humbled by it. Yeah. And to tackle material like this, I mean, I love the complexity of a character who is broken, and can they get fixed? Can they find their way through? I'm always intrigued by that. How we survive. Yeah. Trauma, dilemma, challenge.
Suanne, tell us about the run. How long will this be?
We actually preview next week, the 23rd and 24th. We open on the 25th. We will be running Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 8, Sunday at 2. And I do have the number. It is 562-436-4610.
Can you repeat that again, madam?
Yes, I would love to. 562-436-4610. And I believe the website is capital I, capital C, capital T, capital L, lowercase ONGBEACH.org.
Okay. Here's a question. Okay. Here's the question I always ask. Please tell us what excites you the most about this play.
Well, I love, oh God, just the one thing, this is really hard for me. I love working with Karen. It's the first time I've worked with her, the artistic director there. She's a fantastic director. Michael and Hayden, the other two members of the family, how you build a family, working on Wendy's material, wrestling it to the ground, trying to refine it, making it the best that it can be. So people walk away feeling like they got something.
Yes.
They got something good.
No. Well, Suanne, all I can say is this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've learned a lot today about the business.
Sweet.
Thank you very much for doing so. Please come back again. I want to thank you for your publicist, my dear, dear friend, Lucy Pollock, for having you here.
Lucy, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. You are divine. You truly are. Have a blessed day, okay?
Same. Ladies and gentlemen, Suanne spoke. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it up, Tony. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of days ago, I got a message with a picture of a person on it. And first, I didn't recognize just who the person was. Can you put that picture up, number one, number 39C? Here's a friend of mine right there in the middle. That's him, Kevin Fleming. Those two guys around him, that's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. This guy, Kevin, knew everybody in this town. Everybody, okay? I discovered it was a long time. He's a longtime friend of mine, a bunch of other people. His name is Kevin Fleming. Kevin has been in this town for a long time. Over the years, Kevin has done a lot for a lot of people. He's a DJ, a program director, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can you go to the next picture? This is how he looks now, ladies and gentlemen. He has pancreatic cancer. He's been in stage 4. He's been in the hospital, in and out of the hospital 19 times. He needs your help to pay the medical bills. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please show us the good. Okay, you see it. There it is right there. Use a hand. Can we use a hand? Please help Kevin if you can. May God bless you for your generosity, ladies and gentlemen. We most sincerely thank you. God bless you, Kevin. Roll it, Tony.
I'm just happy that you're home. I missed you. Why are you really home? Candace is in town.
She okay?
Charles, don't get your hopes up. She hasn't treated me like a sister in more years than I can count.
It takes courage to leave a career and a relationship. Don't discredit.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is an award-winning filmmaker, producer, and seasoned veteran in graphic design, sound design, brand development, and passionate about injecting cultural relevance through storytelling. She also has a hands-on creative seeking to produce uniquely provocative stories that amplify and empower Black women, LGBTQI+, and all marginalized voices. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vonyse Rita to the Actor's Choice. Vonyse, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I like that hairstyle. Looking
thank you.
We call it looking G-double-O-D. That means looking. looking
I appreciate you.
No better. Please tell us where you were born at.
I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Ah, a lot of famous people come out of that town.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one of them right now. Indeed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Okay, here's the deal. You had a lot of work that you've done, and some of that work has been, let's see. Here's my question. How or what is it that made you get into filmmaking?
Great question. I just think I was always a lover of film, storytelling. I, grew up on it, practically, raised me. It was my babysitter. And I just am enamored by the power of storytelling and how it can change people's lives.
Okay. Where'd you get your education at?
I went to Cal State Long Beach.
Yay! I went to school there too.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Nice.
And I also teach it now at SMC.
Okay, so I went there too.
Yeah.
Nice. I did the ProMax program you have in the media department there.
Yes, familiar with it. The year was 2005. You got your first IMDb actress and music credit, triple minority, 15 minutes.
Yes. I ended up getting into a short film with the director at the time, Amber Sharp. And it was, it was a good exposure into getting in front of the camera.
Yes, yes. Fast forward a couple of 2 years, you did another TV movie, a drama called Don't Go.
Yep, with the same director. What a crew there.
Yeah.
I ended up having a small part and also doing the theme song for the.
Okay.
Yes.
Fast move up 2 more years, couple of years. You did a photo called Being Less. Remember that movie?
Yes.
Another show.
It was another short.
12
I was
minutes.
actually, I was going from doing short promo stuff for bands and record labels to trying to tell my own story. It was based on a true event, kind of, that had happened between my now wife and I, and spirituality and coming out in the digital realm.
Okay. Because Being Less was very interesting in that was another one, 2014. You did that one, as we just talked about. You did a lot of work there. You did director, writer, producer, cinematography, art direction, set direction, sound department. Oh, you did a lot of stuff.
Yes.
You had pen in hand and just do all over the place, huh?
Right. Well, a lot of it was in getting into film. I kind of wanted to learn everything.
Yes.
I wanted to, get all of it in my body so that I would have a better understanding of how to be a better leader. If you do the editing, you know what to look for when you're directing. Wow. And so I kind of jumped in as, just full study. Just wanted to get my feet wet and take it all on.
It's like wearing a lot of hats when you're on a set.
It's rough.
Different hats. Rough.
It's rough.
Rough.
Yeah, well, you have to adjust quickly. You have to, be mindful of all the moving parts. So, it's challenging, but I recommend it, actually. Yes.
What kind of films do you like to do?
I'm really leaning more towards dark comedy. I think, life in its irony is hilarious. And even when you're looking at the seriousness, you can put that spoonful of sugar in there to get the message across, even.
Definitely. We showed at the beginning one of the films that you did, Quiet as Kept. And then that was there you go, Quiet as Kept. Yeah.
Yes.
Film, comedy, drama, family, played the role of Teresa, and also co-producer. Like you say, you put your hands in there, you get it in there.
Yeah.
When they see you coming, they go, "Oh, here she comes." Here she comes. They see you coming.
Well, I hope they would embrace it, that knowing that I'm coming forth with love to enhance any project.
Yes. One more that we like to take a look at is called Carry Cash. Film short, another short drama thriller. You again, co-producer.
Yes. Yeah, you jump in there, you just start working with folks. I was, had trying to have a whole, touch the whole gamut of different people I can work with to learn and grow and contribute to. And that particular story was about transgender, which is identity crisis. And I thought it was a good thing to explore. So
okay.
It's a fun project.
There have been a lot of changes that you've seen over the years. What do you think?
I think it's a very interesting time. I think it's a lot of healthy change, and then there's also still a lot of work to be done within the change. And a lot of, I feel, stories to be told to show a more diverse perspective of the changes we're going through. We can't just, we want to rip the Band-Aid off and throw things on people all at once. And if they don't get it right away, we're upset. I think we need to tell those in-between stories to fill in those gaps and allow people to take things on in their own time.
Okay. Vonyse, how do you feel about artificial intelligence, or AI as they call it? Ooh. How do you feel about that? People are copying each other, hacking each other already?
Well,
wasting no time.
That's already been going on. So artificial intelligence is just mimicking. It's a mirror to what we're already about, which can be dangerous because it's going to amplify some of the thing, one side or the other. But, in all things, there's good and bad. So it's what animal we're feeding. We're going to feed the good of it, or we're going to feed the bad of it, but it can get out of control.
Okay. At the beginning, you said you produce any uniquely provocative stories that amplify and empower Black women and LGBTQIA+. Can you tell us about that, please?
Well, as a community member of the LGBTQIA, I again want to reflect all the voices. I think sometimes we over amplify one over the other. I think I sit in a seat where, you know, we're talking about women's issues, we're talking about queer issues, and we're talking about interracial issues as far as I'm concerned. So and Black issues. So I try to bring all of that to picture. Like once I started getting involved in the community, I realized there's still a skew in what's being represented in every community. You know, there's always a skew, but especially in the LGBTQIA community, I would like to represent, you know, the darker queer women out here struggling to also have our voices be heard and to be seen, that we are just as human as everybody else.
Yep.
And our issues, the real issues, still need to be discussed, like everybody else. So
the Limited Less STEM Academy.
Yes.
Please tell us about it.
The Limitless STEM Academy, that is a nonprofit where we're reaching out to the youth, the urban youth, to teach them coding and programming. They've been a part of robotics. During the pandemic, we pivoted to podcasting so that the kids could continue to learn. And I just champion that because I know coding has changed my life and provided a plethora of opportunity. And I think with the advent of AI, kids need to know how to build things, not just be at the whim of who's ever building. So that's why I'm behind STEM.
Got a video. It's called the Limited Less STEM Academy. Roll it, Tony.
My name is Courtney Hooks, and I am limitless.
My name is Naya
Yes, it
and I
is, but
am
you just can't hear.
limitless.
My name is Tony Middleton, and I am limitless. My name is Orion Knowles, I am limitless.
My name is Heather Middleton, and I am limitless.
I am Miles Bradford, and I am limitless.
I'm Sydney, and I am limitless.
I am Sebastian Avila, and I am limitless. The Limitless program is exciting because you could like build robots, and you don't know nobody else who can build.
When I saw it, I said, break it out, Brewington, break it out, break it out.
Yes.
You are the creative director, mentor, director, editor, creative, you're everything. Tell us, how can I get involved in this project that you have right now?
What, of the Limitless or?
The Limitless. Let's start with that first.
Right. Well, we have a website online. We kind of got kicked off of Instagram by accident. But we do have our website, the Limitless Academy, .org. You can join up and donate. We're still podcasting right now, so we're not in person. But yeah, you can go there to find out more and get involved if you like.
Okay, where are you located at here in Los Angeles?
It's actually at a church in West LA or South LA. I don't have the address memorized, but if you go to the website,
yes,
all the information is right there for you.
Okay, I got 1655 West Manchester Boulevard. Is that
Yes, that sounds great.
LA 90047. Okay.
Yes.
Telephone number 323
Wow,
7346. We stay ready, so just in case.
Okay,
get that information to the people. Again, 323-906-7346.
Excellent.
That's info@thelimitlessinitiative.org.
Yes, thank you.
Get that one. Oh, yes. How long? Okay, what? I got a few moments, 10,000 questions. Tell me what I have to do to get involved. I'm a stranger. I want to get into something. I want to learn something. How can I get involved? How can I get those numbers I gave? Can I just call you up? What can I do?
Yeah, you call those numbers. I do creative, so I'm not running the whole program. But again, we went from robotics to now we're still doing podcasting. So if you want to find out when the next session for podcasting is, you're going to call that number or go to that website.
Okay.
Get in contact. Someone will get in contact with you and let you know how you can register your children. It's for kids If you have kids, you can register your kids to get involved, or you can donate so that we can bring more kids on into the fold.
Vonyse, I want to thank you for coming to the Actors Choice. Continued success in what you're doing. Need to have you come back again. Get some more time. Definitely. Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vonyse Reader. Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actors Space. And much, much thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to our guest today, actor Thomas Bell, actress producer Suanne Spoke, and producer, director, actress Vonyse Reader. The Actors Choice is a presentation of B&B Production, Rudolph Brewington, my twin brother, he's the president, and Sydney Chandler, executive producer. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. I'm Ron Brewington. See you next time.